Business organizations, civil society and political parties have made their voices heard about draft regulations for the Political Party Funding Act. The IEC has been holding public hearings in Cape Town. It's received more than 4,300 written submissions. Now, the Act can only be implemented once the regulations are finalized. The IEC hopes this will be done before the local government elections. Well, let's chat about this some more. I'm joined by the Right to Know's Khalib Galant. He's in Cape Town for us this evening. Khalib, a very good evening to you. What have you told the IEC about what you want to see happen here, and what are your concerns?
Good evening. In our oral submission today, we commended the IEC for the speed with which they had drafted the regulations, because this piece of legislation has been a long time coming. We've been campaigning as part of civil society since at least 2012 for this, and off the back of the My Vote Counts court case. Finally, Parliament has accepted that it needs to make some change to the legislative framework. So this is really an important piece of legislation. We raised some concerns with the slow pace of implementation, of getting these regulations on the books. We appreciated that the IEC was wanting to be quite thorough, and they have received 4,500 submissions already. For us, really, every day that the regulations are not promulgated or implemented is a day that we lose, primarily because indications are that the Act and the regulations will only be prospective, not retrospective. One of our demands, in fact, that we should, in that first submission by political parties, actually look back for the last 12 months as a benchmarking exercise. But I don't think we'll get that.
Khalib, what should party supporters and voters be concerned about? Why is this important for the voting South African out there?
So part of the challenge has been that elections particularly cost money. And unfortunately, whoever pays the piper calls the tune. And so what we've seen in the last, say, 20-odd years is political parties becoming beholden to their donors. Much of that private donation has happened behind a veil of secrecy. This Act attempts to pierce that particular veil, and the regulations will also, hopefully, in its implementation, make sure that the public has access to the information so that we know who is donating to our political parties, how much is being donated, and for what purpose that is being donated. Part of the challenge, I think, for me as a voter, is I really would like to see who has made the biggest contribution to the political party I want to vote for, because that's a measure perhaps of the influence that they potentially have over the policy direction of the party.
Okay, so are you concerned about individuals who might be... What has been the biggest problem for us? Is it individuals? Is it companies? Is it overseas? Are we looking at people who are outside of the country who we're suspicious about why they are giving money to major political parties?
I guess it's all of the above. And one just has to turn on the State Capture Commission broadcasts on a daily basis to see how all of those play themselves out. So we've seen how state-owned enterprises have their funds have been channeled to political ends. We've seen how companies like Bosasa have benefited from state contracts and have also contributed to political campaigns. We've seen individuals contribute to multiple parties. And I guess that's the other issue, is that it's not a sort of one-to-one relationship, this person or this company and this political party. Donors hedge their bets. and so spread the largesses as well. The challenge is we don't have enough information about exactly the extent of that.
Okay, thanks very much for that. Well, we'll continue to watch this process as well and see what happens with this. Thank you very much, Khalib Galant from Right to Know. Well,